Ladies and gentlemen, it is another special episode of How the Hell Did This Go #1, but it's also where worlds collide. If you're listening to the flagship show, the Hall of Fame show, where Evan, Nolan, and we discuss Halls of Fame, because hey, it's called notinhalloffame.com. So you think Hall of Fames are going to come up. Well, Evan and we make lots of wagers. Usually it's on beer. Eventually, I'm going to have to pay him the sum of a brewery. But I actually won a bet this time. And it's over the Olympics because Canada outperformed the United States in the certain demographics, which has resulted in a special guest, Evan Nolan. You are here with Brad Nelson and Andrea Tessmann. And what are you going to do as the loser of said bet?
Where am I? What is this place? It's very, very strange.
We try to keep the temperature high so the clothes can be low.
The bet was, and I'm not sure that the Olympics actually happened.
No one watched it.
Prove it. But the bet was that whoever lost this bet, and I believe it was who did better between the U.S. and Canada's men and women's hockey team, who had more overall golds, correct? In the Olympics?
Golds, and then we split the tie with overall medals. Because the men's team of both U.S. and Canada both exited the same round.
This is the first time in apparently 16 Olympics that Canada hasn't medaled in men's hockey.
In 16?
I could be wrong.
You're probably
but I thought that's what I heard. Hey, don't you know that 85% of stats are made up?
Go sports.
Right, but there's only a 50% percentage of that being accurate.
True.
Yes. But as
or minus 2%.
Give or take a few.
So anyway, so I should get this. So the bet was, regardless of what the bet actually was, and nobody actually fully remembers it, it was whoever lost, which apparently was me, has to sing the national anthem of the other country. Mm-hmm. Now,
because there's three of us, you got to do it 3 times.
Oh, no, I'm only going to do it once.
Oh, okay.
But the interesting thing, of course, is that your national anthem is more inclusive than most other countries' national anthems.
Oh, look at our prime minister.
What?
Our prime minister is all about inclusivity.
He just pretends to be other cultures. That's not the same thing, Kirk.
Well, he does wear a lot of things as cosplay. This is true.
Yes. So anyway, I don't know. Oh no, my lyrics disappeared. Hold on. Okay, they're there. All right. So
you don't know it off heart?
I do not know it in French off heart. No, I do not know it in French. We're going to find out probably at all. We're going to do our best here.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Oh, Canada. Oh, hold on, let me remove my hat. There we go. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. Ton historie est une épopée. I don't know how that goes with French. So that des plus brillants exploits et tes valeurs. Des fois trempé. You ready for this surprise language?
Oh.
Kanatak ni tuskinan oma. It's Cree.
Oh,
impressed.
Kanatak ni tuskinan tapway. There we go.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
The French part was not good, but I found it in Cree, so why not?
Wow.
The Cree part is impressive.
The Cree part was a whole
The fact that you were on key and you're not from around these parts, that was definitely impressive.
I thought that was going to be Klingon or something. I had no idea.
Oh, no, that is apparently Cree. So,
nice.
And again, I got it off the internet from the Edmonton School District. So I'm presuming it's correct Cree, but if not, blame Edmonton.
We do anyways.
It's not even a real country anyway.
And the beautiful thing too is Evan's going to stick around for this episode.
Yes. So I have a question for you before we get started. How do you guys decide what song you guys are picking?
Usually Revenge.
So out of revenge, can I just pick a song for your next time at the end here?
Yeah, why not? It's just any Billboard #1 song from the day that Billboard started doing #1 songs till today.
Yeah, so I found a good one for from my year that I don't think you guys have done yet. So
well, hold on to that in your back pocket.
I'll save that for the end. So
yeah, our usual process. It started with Kirk and I going back and forth, and then I would pick something that he would really hate, so he'd try to find something I would hate even more, and it just cycled. And then every once in a while, I'll just be like, I can't deal with this steaming pile of dog crap anymore. Let's do something more fun.
Last time we did Cher's Half Breed.
So
yes, yeah, I got very lucky because my birthday, the #1 song on the Billboard chart was "Late Freak" by Chic.
Ooh,
but the very next day, the Billboard charts came out, and it was the Bee Gees, and not a good one, "Too Much Heaven" by the Bee Gees.
Oh.
Talk about a step down. So I'm glad I was born on the 5th and not the 6th of January.
Good timing on your
January, starring Tom Cruise's younger brother. So Andrea picked a really good song, Bobby Darin's "Mack the Knife." And before, because Andrea's computer sucks, so Brad and I, we've already discussed it for 10 minutes. So unfortunately, we didn't record it. So I guess we have to start all over again.
Okay, well, both Kirk and I found out that this song was originally in German.
Yeah, we were.
It was part of an opera.
Yeah, the Threepenny Opera.
And we were sort of like trying to do it the way we thought it would be. He has a knife. He killed you. Now you die. But it wasn't like that.
No.
Knife, yeah.
Und will kill sie. Anyway.
Und der heißt dich, der hat Jeanne.
Wow.
You are just multilingual. You're polyglottic, one might say.
Yeah,
a cunning linguist, definitely, if there ever was one.
Indeed.
So anyway, yeah, so it's sort of an opera
entendre?
from 1928.
Yeah, that was something I had no idea. I mean, like, we certainly learned enough that, especially after doing this for a while, like in the 50s, a lot of songs weren't written by hardly any of the artists. Another thing I didn't know, that Bobby Darin actually started off as a songwriter with Irv Kirchner, or sorry, not Irv Kirchner, that was the director from Empire Strikes Back, Don Kirshner.
I didn't realize how young he died. He died at 37.
37. And Kevin Spacey played him at 43.
And he had like a really prolific career in a few short years.
Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't want him to do this song originally. They didn't want him to record this song because he had his squeaky clean image to uphold. And this one here about a roving serial killer or a mob hitman might have been seen to tarnish that. So they didn't want him to record this, even though he had performed this live several times.
But their problem was 1959 was just the year of like roving hitmen in song.
Well, they were talking Stagger Lee came out earlier, which is another just psychopath.
Stagger Lee loses his hat shooting dice, so goes to a bar and shoots a dude who's begging for his life for his wife and kids.
Yeah.
Sing it up tempo. It's okay.
Go Stagger Lee.
Well, and that's the thing about both Stagger Lee and Mack the Knife is they're so upbeat and happy. I am having a great time. Like, he's just hamming it up on stage.
Why aren't you like Richard Cheese's opening act?
But he is, like, you watch him perform this song and he's like got his little interludes and his ha and his eek and his like, it's ridiculous.
Did you look at the original German play?
Yeah, did you see the original German translation?
I did, actually.
Where he burnt a dude and 7 children alive and raped a woman?
Mm-hmm.
It's German. That's what they do. Like every German story
Well, not anymore. After you lose a couple wars and all, then that's sort of like why they got into shit porn.
Like, have you ever read the original German versions of
Yes,
like the fairy tales? They're graphic.
They're like, hey, everybody else got Santa Claus. How about Krampus?
Oh, no, I like Krampus. I got a lot of respect for a guy who goes around and beats up naughty kids.
Speaking of Krampuses, Andrea, you've got something to say.
I do. Hey.
Wow. Damn. I can't understand why you pick songs he doesn't like.
What else was I gonna say?
Kirk, you get a breath of Canadian air and suddenly you're an asshole.
Yeah, welcome back to Canada, Kirk.
I mean, I thought I was a kinder, more gentler soul now that I had my cold weather happening here, but I guess not.
No, when you
Are
start
you in a hotel right now, Kirk?
Yeah, for the next 2 months.
Okay. I was like, I know your wife works with hotels. I didn't realize you're actually in a hotel.
I'm living in a hotel for the next 2 months, not by a van by the river.
Not in a van by a river?
No.
But hey, with the housing market these days, living in a van down by the river is pretty desirable real estate.
So right now we're talking about the whole fuel situation.
Yeah. Yes, hey, at the cost of gas, you're not going to be afforded to move it anywhere anyway. So
there's that. But you know, enough about the sort of like sad state of living now. Let's talk about this killer.
Yes, let's go back to murder ballads.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think in the German version, he's like a highwayman, robber, mass murderer. I think in Bobby Darin's version, or the more popularized version that's been covered by a billion people, he really does seem more like a mob hitman. I think one of you said. The whole story's softened a little. You only kind of hear about 2 murders.
Only.
There was a body oozing red and...
Has my boy done something rash?
Mm-hmm. The whole thing with this is it's been covered so many times. Louis Armstrong did it, mainstreamed it first, I think.
Yep, 55, I believe.
55, yeah. And boy, he hit it with those Louis pipes, and it sounded great. But who's got a favorite version of this?
I already know where you're going with this because we kind of talked.
I know where you're going.
Oh yeah, I already told you guys what it was when we were off camera last week or last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, go tell us.
It's Robbie Williams in 2001, right? Sorry.
Well, my favorite is the Muppets version.
Oh, Brad, I'm sorry, I cut you off. What'd you say?
Oh no, I just said it was Ella. Ella did an amazing job because she forgot the lyrics partway through and then improvised it.
I thought we were going to go with the McDonald's guy.
I totally thought you were doing Mack Tonight.
Mack, no, not Mack Tonight.
Which
that terrifying moon.
Which the estate of Bobby Darin successfully sued.
Really?
Yes. And that's how that got that's something that did very well for a brief period of time and didn't have any
I don't think they're loving it anymore.
No, well, I suppose not. So yeah, get a happy meal with every murder.
I spent a lot of time in Argentina, and there's a very popular Latin singer named Ruben Blades who writes a lot about Argentina, and he has a version of this called Pedro Navaja. Which is sort of on the Latin American take on it. Pedro Navaja, of course, translates to Razor Pete.
They call him Razor Pete. He's the king of the rumba beat.
Yeah. So.
You know, I think though with a lot of this, there has been forever since pop culture really began a romanticism of the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I look at some of my favorite movies. I mean, I could watch Scarface over and over and over. Doesn't necessarily mean I want to sort of like get somebody in a chainsaw.
No, but why do you think there has been that romanticization of that? I mean, there was, Zorro and the Three Musketeers and Robin Hood and what have you. We've always been fascinated with people who operate outside the law. I mean, look at how popular Boondock Saints was. And also, fun fact, if you guys remember the Fraggles, the dude who lived upstairs with the dog is the same guy as is the bartender in Boondock Saints.
Really?
Really?
Yep.
I thought this was going to go where he got whacked.
No, but it was still awesome. But
Okay.
regardless, that we've always had that cultural fascination with people who work outside the law. I mean, you've got Mexican gang ballads, and I believe it happens elsewhere in South America as well.
Gangsta rap right now.
Oh yeah, exactly. So we've always had that fascination. We've always sung about them or made movies about them or plays about them and stuff. And you know, it's our natural sort of morbid curiosity about it, I think. I mean, why do you think Breaking Bad was so big?
That's a very good point. And I think that sort of plays a lot to this, because 1959 isn't much different than as we're recording this in 2022. This is a type of culture that a lot of people are interested in, although they don't necessarily want to participate in, but you can live vicariously through that song. And it is very surreal when you actually sit down and think about the lyrics, but that's usually not what people do.
Right. And Mack the Knife, I mean, 59, Mack the Knife just seems like a name of a Dick Tracy character. Basically.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you get Sinatra's version, which is even more swinging than Bobby Darin's was.
Yeah, but Frank probably could get somebody whacked.
Well, Frank knew Mack the Knife. He drank with Mack the Knife.
Darin I also look to, when I think of Bobby Darin, I think of, he had 3 distinct hits. None of them really were very much alike.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath.
Boom, 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 boom.
Beyond the Sea is not exactly, I mean, it might be more in this vein of sort of big band swing, but still, these are 3 completely different songs.
Yeah,
and
he had his you know, fresh faced, chubby cheeked, you know, rosy cheeked image to maintain, and that's why Dick Clark had said, no, don't do Mack the Knife, because that's going to tarnish that.
But
go ahead.
Go ahead. You're not counting Queen of the Hop or Dream Lover or
I need a dream lover, so I don't have to dream alone.
I got a girl they call the Queen of the Hop. Anyway,
did you see did anyone see the Kevin Spacey film?
Yeah.
I'll give as much as it's, and we were saying this before, Brad and I, it's sort of hard to watch a Kevin Spacey film, but it really is for me. Saying that, when you look at young pictures of Bobby Darin, I could see why Kevin Spacey felt the need to play him. And yeah, it took place probably 10, 15 years too late for him to actually do it when he did. And it was not very believable, even though Spacey actually
sung on it himself, which was pretty impressive.
And directed it, and wrote it, and produced it.
He's a dirty bum toucher.
And that, yes. He likes the bum clean before he gets them. All right, let's just move on.
I hate the fact that we had to cancel Kevin Spacey, because before all of that, like, I really liked his work, and now it really just feels wrong watching it.
Well, it's like Kirk and I were saying before. It's a matter of separating art from artists. People can still listen to Michael Jackson. People can still watch OJ commercials and him in Police Academy or Naked Gun or whatever the hell he was in. Yeah. So, you know, you can separate art from artists to a point. Salvador Dali apparently wasn't a great fella to be around, yet we still revere his works of art. Tesla was a madman, and yet, you know, we came from got all kinds of inventions from him.
But K-Pax still sucks.
I think we just need some time, and maybe that person to no longer be on this earth before we can really separate it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we need to unalive him. I'm just saying that sometimes you need there to be like some separation.
With Chris Brown, he winds up, you know, beating Rihanna to a pulp, and yet he still has a musical career.
He had a number.
Yeah, but that's not excusable.
No, it's totally inexcusable. Don't get me wrong.
What were you gonna say?
Here's my question. So, like, we were talking before about Usual Suspects and the great role he had there. But like one of my favorite films, one of my top 5 films of all time is LA Confidential. And not to ruin anything, it was out since 1997, so I don't feel so bad all this time later. But he dies in it, and I almost feel better watching him because the character dies. So,
there is something
So
to
you
that.
can
That
watch
thing with
Seven
O.J.
then, too.
Simpson, A Naked Gun, and right at the end where he flips over, it's like, you don't really feel too bad for Nordberg anymore, do you? Not
No,
nearly
it's a
the
weird
same.
line to walk because he, as an artist, he was great. But as a person, he's a piece of shit.
Oh, and then also too, he had sort of like the worst coming out of anyone. And yes, there's something I did. And by the way, I'm a proud gay man. And I'm sure the gay community really loved that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, don't put this on us. No. Oh, well, moving right along.
Yeah, so it's a great one that you came up with. I don't know that there's a whole lot more to say about that. Bobby Darin had a phenomenal career, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, as justifiably so. I don't know if we're letting Evan pick the next one because I've got one for next week.
Oh, why don't you guys tell us what you picked and we'll tell you which one of you can go to hell.
ooh. Lead on, McDuff.
Oh, myself? Okay, well, I thought we would sort of like look back at, I was really inspired by Pam and Tommy.
Oh, I gotta say something how horrible that is, because she did not give any consent to that movie being made.
But the one thing I gotta say is that it takes the titillation away from it, not just so I could shoehorn the word tit in there. But
yeah, right.
It does take the titillation out of it a little bit and actually helps you see Pam as a sympathetic character. Because beforehand, I was just like, I don't give a shit about Pam.
Or Tommy.
Well, Tommy I've met, and Tommy I don't like.
I've met both of them actually very, very briefly.
Nice.
They came to New England Aquarium to watch the sea lion show.
Oh, nice.
I was at the door. I'm like, wow, that's a tall dude with a lot of tattoos. I was like, oh wait, now I know who that is. When I saw with them.
Yeah, because at that time there wasn't exactly a lot of tall dudes with a lot of tattoos.
Not in 1997, there wasn't.
and just casually strolling around the aquarium in a Speedo.
he was not wearing a t-shirt. He was wearing like a vesty thing with nothing on underneath it. So
not even a Speedo.
And a vial of Pamela's blood around his neck or something. Wasn't that the thing?
That I did not happen to notice.
It was Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wrong
Why do I
weirdo
know
couple.
that?
Well, all right.
So what's your song? What's
Okay.
your song?
Well, okay. Motley Crue never went #1, but their evil stepsister did. Poison. Every rose has its thorn.
Oh, you got me at hair metal now. I love hair metal. Even the ballads aren't too bad.
Well, with hair metal, you pretty much only can go with a ballad because none of the other ones ever make #1. So I was either going to do that or Nelson, but
I don't know, man.
There might be a
We're gonna
monkey in the
take
wrench.
it.
Because you might pick what Evan's got.
I don't
So
know, man. He said hair metal.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty hard to beat. I was just going back to 1979 and one of the weirder songs, I think, ever to make #1, whether it was in New York, Paris, London, or Munich, everyone talking about pop music. I thought that one would be, that's.
Oh, geez. Oh, now you're gonna pick.
I mean, that's a pretty
M, isn't it? The band was called M.
The band was called M. Yeah.
It's just a guy.
Just one guy.
Just a guy with a synthesizer and a whole bunch of cheap sunglasses. Like that.
Get yourself some cheap sunglasses. Oh, geez. Poison or M?
I'm liking Evan's one. I'm not hating on Poison.
Mm-mm. So, Kirk, how about you just give up your go this time round? We're gonna do pop music, and then the week after we can do Every Rose Has Its Thorn, because holy crap, we need to touch that one.
All right. That's what she said.
I was, waiting for it.
I said, because now you're back in Canada.
Yeah, baby. All right, with that, it's shameless plug time. If Evan's here, that means I'm going to plug that first. Every week, Evan and I do the Hall of Fame show. You want to know about things going on in the Hall of Fame? Hey, listen to us. we think that we're experts, and well, we actually seem to do better than a lot of the people who actually are experts. So we'll run with that. Hey, Andrea, did I tell you I wrote a book?
I think you did, but why didn't you tell me about it?
Yeah, I
Andrea,
wrote a
why
book.
didn't you tell me that he wrote a book?
Well, I wrote a book.
You wrote a book?
I wrote a book. It's about the late, great Chavo Guerrero Sr.
Evan,
Chavo
fake being
classic.
surprised.
I'm trying to figure out what a book is.
Well, pretty soon we're going to sell it also as an ebook. Do you know what an ebook is? It's the letter M turned to E.
I think it's what Calvin Ridley tried to use to disguise his betting this week.
Save that for 2 days from now.
Okay. It'd be a very good time to acquire him, by the way.
Yes.
Probably get him for cheap.
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, that book, you can find that on Amazon.
What's it called?
It's called Chavo Guerrero Instant Classic. Hey, I also do another show about crappy shit. It's called This Crap Was on National Television. Chris Burnett and I, we just looked at that 80s show. We were going to look at the Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island, but I can't find the damn thing. So I'm going to have to pick something else.
At some point, man, you have to do Man versus Beast.
Well, you're going to be a special guest on that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to cross-pollinate.
Do you guys remember that show? There was on, I believe it was actually, I thought it was Fox. I think it was actually ABC.
Man versus Beast?
So they had 2001, they had a competition where they had animals take on humans in various things. So they had an elephant pulling a 747 versus, I believe, 35 little people pulling a 747 to see which one went faster.
Oh, now you just got Brad a little turned on.
A little turned on.
But my favorite, I bring it up every time. The single best scene in this was they had a sprinter going against a zebra in a 100-yard dash. And so they had the announcer, and then they had the color guy, and the color guy was Carl Lewis. And Carl Lewis is like, give me the keys for each side. And he goes, here are the keys for the zebra. He's getting off hard. He's got his rung strong, and he has to realize he's in a race. That show is ridiculous. I watched it ahead. I just knew it was to be a train wreck, and I watched it in college, and it was amazing. So at some point, you had to bring that up.
You have to try to find this now.
And we'll cross-pollinate everything because Chris wants to be on this show too as a special guest.
Nice.
Yes. So that's the end of promotion of the Kirk Buchner Network. Do I have a network?
Hey, well, you forgot something.
If I were to go on the TV one there, I'm definitely special. My mom even said I was. So
my mom used to tell me I was good looking too. Well.
Oh wow, we've got a bunch of lying moms.
Mm-hmm.
Every time Brad came over to anything, I think Farrah said that it was a very special episode.
That'd be a good one, but maybe one of the Facts of Life episodes where it was that cerebral palsy girl who just kept showing up telling jokes. Cerebral palsy.
Oh boy!
Did I just ruin it? But
Maybe.
That's what happened.
So you forgot something though, my friend.
What I forgot.
We have a Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I don't usually promote that here. I should. Evan and I, we created our own Hall of Fame. We actually created quite a few, but the one that we're really promoting is, hey, sports fans, you know the United States Athletic Hall of Fame? Wait, you don't? Well, it exists because we created it. We trademarked it. It's ours. www.nothalloffame.com/USA, not the Canadian anthem, because US one. So yes, you can actually go, you can check that out, and you can vote for who you think is the greatest American athlete ever. And you can do this year after year after year after year after year, because nobody's done this. It took a Canadian and his Chicago sidekick.
I'm more of a Boston guy living in Chicago.
Can we go with sidekick still? You've got a sidekick hat going on. Both you and Brad have sort of like that hat that's sort of, you've got the sidekick thing going on, no?
Extra, read all about it. I've got the news today.
Can the sidekick be taller than the main character? The reason that James Arness could never get off Bonanza.
Once again, Kirk, you've been relegated to Little Spoon.
I hate you all.
James Arness was the only man in Hollywood who was bigger than John Wayne, and because of that, he could never get off Bonanza because they couldn't have anyone in a Western bigger than John Wayne.
Tom
Oh.
Cruise is shorter than me, and
Yeah.
he's done very, very well.
You
And he
could
played
cuddle Tom
Jack
Cruise, and then
Reacher.
you could be the big spoon.
Actually, I'll close with this. My favorite thing, my favorite Tom Cruise moment was in Minority Report, and he's it's sort of revealed, and I guess I'll spoil this one here, that Max von Sydow was the one who sort of threw him under the bus, and then he's having sort of like that face-to-face thing. Max von Sydow is 6'5", but they're near like they bring up Tom Cruise. He had to be standing on like a milk crate.
So in inside baseball, so if you guys don't know, I was a contestant on Jeopardy at one point, and the people who I was up against, I'm 5'10", so the people I was up against were both very short. They actually had me stand on a place where they lowered me into the floor and raised them up on boxes. So it's like there's like a square on the floor behind those pedestals that go up and down, so everyone's about the same height.
How far did you get on Jeopardy?
I finished in the top 3.
Nice.
And that's why you're my sidekick. And on that note, this show is over.
Tell us how you really feel, Kirk.
Yes. Wherever you are, wherever you might be.
That's all, folks.
There you go. Stay safe. Take care, everyone.
Bye.